You reckon? If someone showed you a picture of the back of your hand, you would actually know it?
Welcome back to another episode of Artisan Electrics. Today I'm back at an EICR where I was moaning and putting the world to right. There's some common mistakes I found here, so we're going to go through those today and how simple it would be to repair them or just do it properly. It's just laziness in all honesty. So let's get into it. So Reuben's going to be cracking on with the consume unit. I did say on the EICR that it needed some blanks filling in, but the customers decided to just replace it. And while he's doing that, I'm going to focus on the remedials inside the property. I was looking for a screwdriver and all I have is rubbish in my pocket.
Flared.
Let's get some tools, whoops. Oh, see, that's the old colours. Right. It's the best colours. It makes no sense now where we have brown, black and grey. Look at that. That just makes sense, doesn't it? You know exactly which one the live one is. It was going to be earth the other end, this SWA, but you gland it properly. I'll see if I've got another gland. See if I've got a piranha nut to stick on it as well.
This is the board that I'm putting. Cheeky little 7-way, not too shabby. Yeah, it should be easy. There's only 2 ways in the old board, just light and then power. So stick that in, fill it up with blanks so that in the future, if they ever wanted any more circuits, they can just add it. Bunch of space, and it will look slick as well. So win-win. Pretty sure this is actually on, which is why I hate these boards, because it's so like deceiving. It says off, but I'm pretty sure that is off. Or am I wrong? I could be wrong. We'll see. I'm trying to remember, is it that way? Yeah. I think that is right.
Is that on or off at the moment? This is what I was pointing out.
Right.
It's once you've got the cover off, it's awkward to tell whether that's on or off. Is the board on or off?
I mean, it seems like it's on.
Yeah, so that would be showing, wouldn't it? If the cover's on.
Right, okay.
That would be showing. When it's switched off, it will be that way. I'm gonna have people moaning, I've got my fingers in a live board. But yeah, so it's so easy on these. Some of the modern ones do have a little strip across these, so they're quite dangerous to work on. And then when you turn them on, if these ain't on, you can slip and touch them.
Oh.
I have slipped and touched them before. This is why I go on about it so much. So the buzz bar's dead now. Right. So we need to prove dead, so we need to isolate this circuit.
Right, okay.
Yeah?
Yep.
So I've got a proving unit here.
Very nice.
I think it needs new batteries. Right, cool. Right, let's go and isolate. I just wanted to prove that was working. The other day it failed when I was with Max. Smooth. Okay, do you want to go and prove that's off? Good man. So you happy that's off?
Yep.
Yeah, 100%?
Yep.
I won't have an apprentice work on it without me touching it first. So my lock-off device doesn't fit very well on the MCB or the isolator here. I saw people commented before, why did I take the cables out of the breaker? If you have an RCD and you're working on the circuit, if you don't take the neutral out, you can get nuisance stripping. And if someone's working from home or what have you, it means that someone has to physically come here, use a tool, and to get into it. And if you have control of the property or the cupboard, as in it's under a lock and key like on the emergency lighting job, it's a much more effective way of isolating the power. So this is now disconnected and will remain so until Reuben's finished out there, although it looks like UK Power Networks are about to cut the power anyway. You want to have, there is a bending radius to these, and I mean even, it's not too sharp, but you want them to be, if you bend them both around the same thing, they'll match and it'll look much nicer. So Reuben's all set up here, we're going to leave him to it, he's going to strip out. I'm just inside. If he does need me, I'll come and check on him now and then, and I'll take you inside to have a look at the remedials I'm doing. So we've got to re-terminate all of the downlights on the ground floor. So if you remember, I think it was that one, cut my hand open. or was it, yeah, that one I couldn't get back up, wasn't it? And cut my hand on it and all sorts, but they were terminated poorly, so we're going to re-terminate all of the downlights down here, and I think there's a socket to install, and replacing the hallway downlights as well. Just making eye contact with you while putting on these gloves. Oh dear. So one of the most common faults we come across on EICRs, and nearly every downlight I pull down, is this basic installation showing. I would say 99% of the downlights I take down are like this, and it's just a common mistake that we find on nearly every job. So it's only going to take me a minute or two to correct this, and it's all it would have took was for the original electrician or DIYer to just shorten the cable ever so slightly. It doesn't make it any more difficult to connect up, and it's just a shame really. Just a little bit of education would have saved this customer quite a bit of money. So the cable's now shortened, and when it's shut, there's no basic insulation showing whatsoever. Second common thing I find that can be done better is these connector blocks are never enclosed above these downlights. So as well as basic insulation, this is in a dangerous condition. Someone could have their hand under the floorboards and end up getting a packet off of it, so it should be enclosed. So I'm just in the kitchen now doing the same again. I think there's 6 or 7. So it's just exactly the same as next door. Nothing new, nothing interesting, except for that drawing of a washing machine. It's pretty good.
Okay. Eyesight is overrated. Just taking off this cleat so that I have a bit more wiggle room to either, well, take off the gland now and put on the new one in the board. Just that it's a bit easier than it being tied down. That is 25. That is a 20. Oh, beautiful. Cheap little piranha. Right, so I was faffing around for this for a while, and it defeated me, and I think I defeated it a little bit with the thread. I think it might have scuffed it up a bit, so I'm just gonna switch over for a fresh new one, stick a little piranha nut on there, just to earth the gland itself and the arm ring, but yeah, should be all good. Okay, this is a bit sucky, right? That is a 20mm gland that I'm putting on. However, this looks to be a 32 knockout. And there is a 20mm on the left, but I was going to use that for the twin earths coming in for both the circuits. So I could try fit both of them into 120 here, and then stick the other one over here and just get a nice loop on it. But yeah, I wanted it in that corner, but we move.
The third common mistake I see electricians making is not testing these and tagging them appropriately. So this is an old gas main. It needs to be tested to see if it's introducing the fault path, and if it is, it needs to be tagged. If you've seen it on previous videos, it's never, most of the time anyway, it's not. They're not bonded properly. So we've got UK Power Networks out today. They were actually moving this supply to outside, so they're doing a joint outside. I'll show you the meter cupboard a bit later on. You see here, this is the cable they've actually cut off. So this is the PILT cable. That's what the inside of it looks like. So you've got the 2 cores with a lead covering around it. And occasionally, if they're put under pressure, because lead's so malleable, it can fail to the cores, and there's a big bang. And as you can see, there's a gas main here, water main. It's all a bit of a disaster zone if something was to go wrong with that cable. It's now all being moved outside, but it's quite interesting. We rarely get to see the inside of one of those cables.
So these are a little bit before my time, these fuses, or these carriers for fuses. But every now and then you do come across them. And John pointed out, because he's used to spotting out things like this, they've actually used the wrong fuse wire for it, which is quite interesting because one is for lighting, one is for sockets, and that is 15 and a 5 amp. However, they're both got fuse wire for 15 amps. So yeah, stuff you got to look out for, people. Good thing John's eagle-eyed with those sort of stuff. So if the board's going to be in line, the bottom of the board's going to be in line with this gland, I'm just thinking where my cables are going to bend into the bottom of the board. They're probably going to come along the middle of this and then up around about here. So I might get away with the lighting being alright and maybe the sockets, but if it's going to be a stretch I might just renew them. And that, yeah, we should be fine for length, I reckon. Us reckon, as some guy that used to work for us said. Okay. Someone has stuck a wheelie bin in front of this bleeding shed, and now look. Damn it, John. If anything was to go wrong in here, you know, all the things that could go wrong in here, you know, a fire, you know, an avalanche, you never know. There's no way out. It's like, what if an avalanche happens on that side of the shed? Where are we gonna go? And I mentioned that my screw tray is also on top of this wheelie bin. You know how they say, you know a place like the back of your hand? Do you reckon if someone showed you a picture of the back of your hand, you would actually know it? Oh, my cutters, man. Oh. Need to get my chef's table in check. Tell you what, if Sean was here, he'd be letting me know that I need to get my chef's table set up and ready to go. Who needs a chef table, man? Overrated. Overrated. Oh dear, where's the other screw? Oh, it's in there. We good. I knew that. You may be wondering, what am I on about waffling about some chef's table? It is basically just the way chefs need to lay out like their table, hence the name chef's table, is they don't even need to look at where their things are. They just go, boom, need that, boom, need that. And then they put it back exactly where they picked it up. So that it's just instinctive. If you want, say in electrical, if I wanted my flathead, be like, boom, I know it's there, and I'll put it right back. And then every time I want it, I could just keep on reaching to that place and putting it back instinctively. So it does work. It does work, because when you're sitting down and you've got it all around you on all your tools, then it does work. But in a spot like this, there's not many places to put it down. It all kind of mashes up onto the table. You know, I've got an excuse for everything, but you know, it is what it is. Right, so tails are into the main switch and into the earth bar. I tell you what I hate this. Look at it, there's no slack on it. You can't dress it in nice. It's just a bowstring straight up to the neutral bar. It's so obnoxiously trash looking, and it just ruins it. And it's the same with, I think it's Hager RCBOs. When you get a bigger board, the fly leads on the RCBOs, just, they're literally, you have to go straight across to get into the neutral bar. It's like, why would you not just add a little bit more length onto them so that they actually fit your boards? Like, oh yeah, it cuts down costs. That's probably their reasoning. But it's just like, come on, man. Just a little bit more so that you can at least get a loop onto it, but nothing. Literally just has to sit like that. Come on, up your game. There's not a whole lot of slack on these cables. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace them. I've got the time to do it. It will look nicer, be easier to work with. Yeah, I think there's not really a downside to it since I've got the time. So I'm just going to replace these two and get crack-a-lacking. moment of truth. Will it fit? Will it not? Well, did you feel the tension building for that? It fits, which is good news, because then I don't have to find another awkward way of getting into the board, so I can stick both of those in, one down to the switch, one down to the socket, and happy days. I was just talking to Mr. Cameraman about what I like about the industry and on the tools and things like that. Let us know what your favourite part of the industry is. Maybe it's installation work, testing, maybe it's, I don't know, the people in the industry. I'm not sure if that would be the case, but yeah, just let us know what your favourite part is. I thought I'd contribute. For me, my favourite part is probably the fact, like, all these little tools and tricks that you can have and learn and things like this, and they're always passed down, and everyone's got their own little way of doing things, and even though they have the same result in the sense that it all works and it's up to code and things like that, it's just all these, I don't know, almost like shortcuts that different people know or have been passed down from their teachers and whatever, and you'll always work with someone new and figure out the way that they've been taught. Like with John, with Corey and with Lee, completely different styles of testing and things like this, but yeah, it's interesting to just be able to pick it out and take some stuff for yourself. Now that I think about it, I don't think shortcuts is the right word, but it's kind of in the sense that you don't actually skip a step, but it's kind of just quicker, so it's more like just tips and tricks that people learn along the way and things like that that can make it quicker, but you're not actually skipping anything. So I just wanted to clarify, just new ones, just because I thought better off just having fresh ones, easier to work with, and I think it would have been a bit tight. Yeah.
So yeah, just put a bit of heat shrink on it.
Yep. No, I got that still.
Yeah. Did it have a screw in it?
Yeah. I think I've left it in there for now.
Sweet. Is that a butterfly or is that a
Poor
moth?
guy.
Buddy, come on. Oh, you flew back in. No wonder you only live a day. This kind of attitude. Oh, come on. Brother, got to come outside, look. Oh, here he is, gone.
Saved.
Do the inside one first, so get a clip in there,
right,
and get that curved round here, so then it's a nice round bit,
right,
and then just do the same and match it, come round, and then again when that's peeling off, use the inside of that so the radius is the same each time, so it curls off. Right, so this is the joint that UK Power Networks have just done. So they've just done a resin joint here, so they've jointed the cable through, and then they pour a resin inside there, which will go rock hard, so then the connections stay separated and encased, so there's no chance of it shorting out or anything like that. And then if we go round, I'll show you the other end of it. So this is what they've installed. So they've now made it a PME system, so the neutral and earth are combined. We've got a new 100 amp fuse, we only had 60 before. They've even written the earth loop here. So now we're just waiting for the meter men to come, and they will install their meter somewhere in here and an isolator switch for us to connect onto. Lee and Luke cored out a hole here which has been bunged up, and our tails will pass through here and then into the new consume unit tomorrow. Max, our cameraman, has bought me some Pokemon cards. As he knows, I'm a big Pokemon fan, so let's see what I got. So I've got an Energy, a Kirlia, I don't know what that is. Oh, a Typhlosion. I've got a couple of shinies, Max. Any of them worth any money? Typhlosion, Heracross. Cheers, mate. My boy, he just sits there watching people opening packs all the time.
Yeah, he'll know all the people are.
And every time I go into a shop, it's like, Dad, they sell Pokemon cards. And then I get done for £4 every time. So in here, I'm just gonna prep for the meter guy. So I'm just gonna move the tails from the new position and put them into a temporary Henley block, and then run our tails outside and leave all the slack here. So tomorrow I can isolate it and then bring the new tails into my consumer unit. I'm not going to bring these into this one as it's only going to be overnight, so it seems pointless disturbing this fuse board, and then moving the main earth and connecting it as well, just to get this all back on for tonight. I'm also going to do some prep work ready for the board change tomorrow. So I'm just going to see if I can found a bit of pipe on the floor, but I don't know if the cables are going to go through it. Easy. Okay, just coming to check on Reuben. He's completed this fuse board now. It's not powered up yet, but as you can see, it is absolutely spot on. Looks really neat. It's got nice swoops in it. They're all even, and it just, you know, the amount of time extra. Would you say that took any extra time to do than to lash it in and just go, yeah, that'll fit, that'll fit, that'll fit?
Nah, not really.
It's just,
well, until OCD kicks in, and you're like, oh, that's slightly off.
It's a millimetre out. But it really doesn't take that much more effort to look like this, and he's done a fantastic job. And yeah, I can't praise him anymore, to be honest. Couldn't have done better myself. So this is the fourth common thing we come across on that have not been done properly. So you can see here we've installed a piranha nut and earthed this gland. It doesn't always have to be earthed, it has to be done at least one end, but 9 times out of 10 they've just boshed it in, and this is finger tight, so there's no earth going into the SWA sheath. Right, so I've ripped out the old consumer unit. I've had a bit of a mare trying to get all the cables in, but I've just put a bit of meter board up to space it all off so I can get all my cables in. I finally got them back into the holes. These holes are cut smaller than the holes in the back of the fuse board, so there's no sharp edges, so I'm not going to be putting grommet strip on it. So I'm just going to mount the consumer unit now and then start putting these all to bed. Eagle-eye viewers may have noticed I've changed shirt. It's not because I've sweated through my last one or spilt anything down it, honestly. I'm just removing my lock-off device, locked off when I started my fuse board. I've kept control of the key, and yeah, let's get it off, get it all livened back up. There's a cable fell out of there. Out of that one.
When I redid it.
No, those ones aren't on either. Odd hazard, I guess it's the backlight. So, I believe that a switch line has been misidentified up here. So when we're flicking the switch, see it just flickers. So something's not right. So we're just going to check this light and correct it.
The easy way would be to take off the switch and then see which ones these 4. So this one was with switch lines, but it must be one of these 3. Because I remember there being a red and like one that was marked up. So
it was a red and a black together.
Yeah, so black's in there.
Yeah.
And then the new light, and then this one I must have just mixed up with one of the other 3.
Are you sure you got that black right? So take the black out of that. Yeah, take that one out.
Here. What's these?
That's not the switch line.
No. Right.
So just pull all the blacks out, and then you will have to go through them one by one.
Yeah.
No. Okay. It'll beep. It's on blip. Oh. Yeah, it's on bleep mode.
It's on bleep mode.
It's alright, just take them all out, it don't matter, you can't lose them now, they're all black.
Yeah, that's true. What if it's none of them? No?
No.
That's all blacks.
With the relevant reds?
Yeah.
Go through them one more time.
Okay. And this one.
They see me rolling. So you can hear that beeping now? That is our switch line there.
Right.
So that black needs to have the brown sleeving on it.
Nice.
So once we correct that, just don't take your eye off it, don't take your eye off it. Yeah. So now that So effectively a neutral was in there. So it's taking a neutral over to there and a permanent live. So I don't know if any of you guessed it, but the reason I keep the talcum powder in is to actually rub on my skin before I go in lofts. It fills your pores up. If you do it around you, it just stops you itching afterwards. So what's happened there is actually one of the most common DIY mistakes. They kind of just get one wrong and then the light stay permanently on, or you can only switch it from one switch if it's two-way. As Reuben's learning, he's going to obviously get out of making that mistake, but it's honestly something that we come across all the time. Or they'll say, you have to turn my kitchen light on before my living room light will work, because they've done exactly that, and depending on what cable you get muddled up, you can end up switching a neutral, and that's why it doesn't work. Right, that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you found something interesting in it. I think Reuben done an amazing job today with that fuse board, and it's good that he found that issue with the lights, because it's something he'll come across daily. Catch you in the next one. He's going to learn to sort of get rid of those simple mistakes. He's banging and crashing in the background. I can't remember.